Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Rishika Barwa. Our top focus story continues to be the controversy over filming inside Varanasi's Gyanvapi Mosque and whether it illegally changes the character of the place of worship, played out in two different courts. So in the civil court in Varanasi, the top official who was entrusted with the filming of the mosque was sacked over media leaks. The Supreme Court, meanwhile, has refused to stay the proceedings of the Varanasi court and said that the filming will continue. The Supreme Court also said that the Shivling that has been found should be protected, but Namaz should not be disturbed.
An intense legal battle over Varanasi's famous Gyanvapi Mosque played out in two courts today. The Varanasi court that ordered the filming of the mosque and the Supreme Court that heard a challenge to the filming but refused to stay it for now. A bench headed by Justice Chandrachud ordered that the area where the purported Shivling was found should be protected by local authorities, but that Muslims should not be restricted in any way from performing their prayers. The top court was hearing a plea by the mosque committee, which said that any filming alters the character of the place of worship and violates a 1991 law that prohibits this.
The Masjid side argued that the trial court entertaining the suit goes against the 1991 Act and also against the Supreme Court judgment in Ayodhya case and sought a stay on the trial court proceedings, which the apex court did not entertain at this stage.
The next hearing in the Supreme Court is on Thursday. India's Solicitor General representing Uttar Pradesh argued that if a Shivling had been found, then the Muslim prayer ritual of cleansing at the pond should not be allowed, as feet would be pointed towards it, which would cause a law and order problem. Meanwhile, the Varanasi court sacked the top official in charge of filming the mosque. Court Commissioner Ajay Mishra was ticked off after the report was leaked to the media even before it was submitted to the court. The court gave two other commissioners a 2-day extension to submit the survey report. On Monday, the Hindu petitioners claimed a Shivling was found near the pond used for wuzu inside the mosque complex during the court's mandated videography survey. The court had ordered the pond to be sealed. Speaking to NDTV, the new survey in charge promised he will be fair and honor the Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb or the syncretic culture of Varanasi.
बाइट दे रहा था और अफवाह फैला रहा था, गलत बातें कह रहा था जो कि सच्चाई से परे थी.
The Varanasi court may hear two fresh petitions on Wednesday, one by the women petitioners who want more filming inside the mosque and the other by the local administration that says the sealing of the pond inside the mosque is inconveniencing worshippers. With Saurabh, Ajay, Aravind and camera person Rajesh Gupta, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Well, the other big story we're tracking today, April's wholesale inflation, has surged above 15%. The double-digit inflation is now there for 13 straight months. The inflation has soared to 15.1% versus 14.5% in March. Fuel and power inflation are leading the surge at 39%. And further, there is a pressure on retail prices as well. Priyanshi has the details.
Rupee has hit a record low again, and this time at 77.56 rupees per dollar. The rupee has touched its third record low in just the last 8 days, with the rate today being the lowest ever. In fact, with this, rupee has lost over 4% of its value since January, as it stood around 74 rupees per dollar in the month of January. Now, why is this happening now? One of the primary reasons is continuous foreign fund pullout from the Indian markets. A total of $20 billion foreign funds have been pulled out by foreign investors this year. This is happening as investors turn to safer investment destinations like the US, and they pull out funds from emerging markets such as India amid global uncertainty. Now, what's the impact? All imports get even more expensive as we now have to pay more in rupee terms. Your foreign travel and education gets expensive too. But the upside is that Indian exports get more competitive globally as foreigners now have to pay less in terms of their currency.
3, 2, 1.
And moving on, India's largest IPO, LIC, tanked on its debut. LIC shares listed down over 8% and settled 7.8% lower. LIC shares ended day one at 875 rupees per share, which is lower than the 949 rupee issue price. LIC shares listed at 867 against 949 rupees issue size. With this, LIC's market valuation has fallen by 42,500 on debut. Experts say IPO timing is a concern as it comes amid global market uncertainty, and the valuation is also a concern, with some saying it is overvalued and hence dropping now to its real valuation. Some in fact even say that certain companies are buying the share to show a recovery in sort of a sponsored buying exercise. India's largest IPO, LIC, in fact lost even when the markets at large gain. So this is raising concerns on LIC's fundamentals.
It indicates, and that's why I in my tweet said, possibly somebody is buying. 950 rupees or 949 cannot really be a right kind of valuation. LIC debuts at a price lower than its issue price and just doesn't budge up.
Well, overall, the markets gained for the second straight session. Markets gained over 2.5% following Asian peers. Sensex gained 1,344 points to end at 54,318, while Nifty gained 417 points to settle at 16,259 points. Now, why the gain? It is after there are hopes of a demand revival after China moves to ease lockdowns in Shanghai. And with this, all sectors in the Indian markets ended in the green. Those are all the headlines for the markets and LIC. Back to you.
All right. Well, there's been heavy rainfall and waterlogging reported in Bengaluru. The waterlogging pictures coming in from the city late this evening. The metro services too were temporarily disrupted but have now been restored. So those are pictures from earlier this evening in Bengaluru, where there has been heavy rainfall and waterlogging reported in several parts of the city. There was a power supply that was disrupted. All of that has now been restored, and we're told that the water is also receding in several parts. All right. Well, those are, of course, the latest updates from Bengaluru. But at the same time, there is a red alert that has been issued for Assam as well as Meghalaya. This as the floods in Assam have worsened. Over 2 lakh people have been affected in Assam in 20 districts. 7 people have reportedly died. Lakhs of people have been affected due to the massive destruction that has been caused by floods in Assam. Over 33,000 people have taken shelter across 72 relief camps that have in fact been set up. Let's also get you the latest as far as India's monsoon tracker is concerned. Now, there are thunderstorms likely in the Andamans over the next 5 days and heavy rainfall expected over the northeastern parts of the country. There's a cyclonic build-up over Kerala and neighbouring states, and South India is also going to be witnessing pleasant showers in the coming 2 days. The southwest monsoon will be penetrating the Bay of Bengal as well. So that's the latest update as far as the monsoons are concerned. While there's heavy rainfall in south and northeast, there is, well, a massive water crisis in other parts. So there's a massive water crisis that is being reported in Maharashtra, where from digging pits to performing religious rituals and pujas or just waiting for fire tenders to get some water, people are resorting to desperate measures.
At Solapur Siddheshwar temple, prayers to the Almighty for water when all else seems to fail. Outside on the roads, angry protests demanding answers from the government. Maharashtra is facing an acute water shortage. In the border district of Chandrapur, where as many as 958 villages are thirsting for water, desperate locals dig a 7 to 8 feet pit in a rain drain to extract water. In the Devpur area of Dhule, there is no water for almost 9 to 10 days now. The women have brought out their water pots to show their anger. Some show that the water available is dirty. Ironically, it is sometimes fire tenders that are bringing in the water.
यहाँ पर 10 दिन हो गए, पानी नहीं आ रहा। पानी की तकलीफ बहुत है हमारे को, समझेगा? जिसके हक में आ रहा हो पानी की टाकी मंगा रहा, पानी ला रहा, पानी जाओ पानी भर ले रहा। टाके कोई 6 टाके भर रहा, कोई 7 टाके भर रहा, तो फिर हम कहाँ जाएंगे?
हफ्ते में 2 दिन वाले पानी मिलने चाहिए। अगर इसके बाद अगर कभी एक लोक प्रतिनिधि को वहाँ अधिकार नहीं मिला महापालिका के अंदर, अगर एक नगर सेवक ने उनका दबाव दिखाया तो महापालिका में जाकर आयुक्तों के मुंह पे चप्पल मारेंगे, पानी पुरवठा अधिकारी के मुंह पे चप्पल मारेंगे, टॉयलेट होगी।
These visuals of a dry well and tap are from Wardha that is scorching at 43 degrees.
रात्रीच्या 8 वाजता पाणी भराले, आणि किती प्याच बरसाती मंदी टोंगर फसा लागते, मेंबर अध्यक्ष सचिव हे काहीच काम करून नाही राहिले.
Maharashtra reportedly has less than 41% water left in the reservoirs. About 270 tankers are supplying water to 281 villages and 738 habitations. Residents are awaiting the rains to get some relief. An NDTV bureau report.
And while there has been a terrorist attack reported at a wine shop in Jammu and Kashmir, a worker has reportedly died in this attack and 3 workers have in fact been injured. Nazir joins us for the very latest. Nazir, what more can you tell us about this latest attack?
Well, Rishika, in Baramulla town of North Kashmir, which is a garrison town, there was an attack on a wine shop this evening. It is a newly opened wine shop in the town where, according to police, 2 terrorists wearing burqa, they came on a motorcycle and they lobbed a grenade. They actually dropped a grenade inside wine shop, which caused the death of one worker at the wine shop. He has been identified as Ranjit Singh from Rajouri. 3 other persons are injured. Condition of one of the injured is stated to be very critical. They have been shifted to hospital. This is the second major targeted attack in the valley after the killing of Rahul Bhatt, a Kashmiri Pandit employee, was shot inside Tahsil office in Chadura. Since then, security is on high alert, but this evening we saw this attack on a wine shop. That too, this wine shop, it is a Diwan Bagh neighborhood in Baramulla town, where there are several, security and police facilities as well. But despite that, the attackers dropped the grenade there, carried out attack and then managed escape. Police are saying they have launched a search operation in the area to track down the culprits.
Thanks, Nazir, for joining us with the very latest. We'll, of course, keep a close watch on that investigation now. Well, the other big development we're tracking, Punjab farmers are on a sit-in protest near the Chandigarh-Mohali border after being stopped from heading to the state capital to, in fact, ask the Aam Aadmi Party-led government about various demands, including a wheat bonus and the beginning of paddy sowing from the 10th of June. So they're carrying their rations, beds, fans, coolers, utensils, cooking gas cylinders and several other items, as of course they are assembling across from different parts of Punjab. They're assembling at the Gurudwara in Mohali. So those, of course, are the latest pictures that we're getting as farmers begin to now protest against the Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab. Pictures there of farmers, in fact, staging a protest against the government, questioning what happened to various demands, including bonus on wheat and, of course, what the plan of action is as the farmers want to begin paddy sowing from the 10th of June. Well, the other big development we're tracking in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, the Supreme Court is going to be listening to an all-important petition tomorrow on the convict's early release. They're going to be deciding on the convict's early release. The centre had earlier, remember, opposed the convict's plea, and the Supreme Court had questioned the delay in the matter. So that hearing is going to be coming up in the Supreme Court tomorrow. 7 premises linked to Karti Chidambaram, the son of former Union Minister P. Chidambaram, and his associates were searched across Chennai, Mumbai, Orissa and Delhi over allegations of a bribes for visas case. The father and son duo have both claimed that the CBI found nothing, but they think that the timing of these raids is suspect. All right, well, the other horrific story that we're tracking is from Tamil Nadu, where after being body shamed and bullied, a class 12 boy has allegedly killed his own classmate. The boy has said that he was mercilessly harassed. He even complained to the school authorities, but they took no action.
A horrifying crime This class 11 student allegedly murdered by his own classmate for body shaming him. Police say the victim allegedly called his friend girlish, and despite his objection and pleas to stop, he continued to tease him over his looks. The accused then called the victim for a party and allegedly stabbed him multiple times on a highway.
Body shaming leads to anxiety, to depression, and many a times to body dysmorphic disorder, where one starts to hate his or her own looks. And many a times this is reflected as anger or as extreme sadness or depression.
The police have arrested the minor boy for murder. He is being kept at an observation home while an investigation is underway. Tamil Nadu has been witnessing a spurt in student behavioral issues, including targeting of teachers. While experts blame it on lack of social interaction amid the pandemic, this student murder over body shaming has triggered a new worry. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Find It TV.